Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brendan and I hope all of you guys are having a great day no matter where you guys are from. Today we have another green day in the crypto markets. We're seeing green across the board once again, and most cryptocurrencies are up anywhere from around 3 to 5% on the day and around 20% or more on the week. With a few outliers that we're going to be talking about here in just a second, I want to take a brief look at the chart first because I feel like I've been saying this for almost a week or two now, but we've seen green day in and day out across the board of cryptocurrency. We're starting to test our moving averages once again with Bitcoin and Ethereum breaking above the 50 EMA on the one-day timescale. And this is a pretty significant area for us to watch. Again, we'll talk more about this in just a second, but there is a ton of news, as I'm sure you guys can see from the millions of tabs that I have open here. We have a lot to talk about, some big scams that totally failed and backfired on some people, which is always great to see. And of course, we have the crypto bull, which is coming up in just a few days here. Why it's being called the crypto bull and not the Super Bowl, well, we'll talk more about that in just a second. But if that sounds interesting at all, make sure you guys stick around for the entire length of the video, as there will be important information discussed the entire way through. Now, as the cryptocurrency market is now above the $2 trillion mark again, this is a really good sign for cryptocurrency. Ethereum breaking above $3,200 and Bitcoin breaking above $44,000. Yesterday, we were actually able to test 45,000, had a slight resistance, had a slight rejection off of that area, but since then we've stayed green on yesterday, and so far we're green on today as well. XRP actually being one of the outliers in the markets right now. They're up about 47% on the week and about 10.5% on the day. Shiba Inu is another one that is an outlier on the day and certainly the week, as they're up about 60% on the week and around 12.5% on the day. Other than that, we're seeing a lot of the metaverse and play to earn and decentralized application tokens doing pretty well in this current market. Really, almost everything's doing really well. But across the board, I would say that those are the ones that are really standing out to me. Engine being one of those outliers that has been doing really good recently. They're up about 24% on the week and around 12% on the day. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into some of this news before we get into the technicals anymore, and then we'll wrap around here and finish up the news at the end. So let's talk about this crypto bull that we have coming up. Now, for those of you who do not know, the Super Bowl has been renamed to the Crypto Bowl because there is expected to be a lot of cryptocurrency advertisements that are going to be run. Cryptocurrency has been making a major push into the sports industry, specifically FTX and Crypto.com, with FTX actually buying the Miami Heat Arena and renaming it to the FTX Arena. And of course, you have Crypto.com buying their own arena as well, making it the Crypto.com Arena over in California. So what's happening here is 29-year-old CEO of FTX is planning to give away potentially millions of dollars in Bitcoin during his Super Bowl ad or during the Super Bowl. It will be interesting to see how he does this. Clearly, this is going to be a very popular ad. People are expecting and awaiting for this. Now, is this for certain? It seems to be that there's a lot of information that has been leaked around this. So I think that people have really good reason to believe that this is going to be happening for FTX. Is it guaranteed? I would say no. A lot of this still is speculation, but for the most part, this seems to be one of almost everyone's most confident bet is that FTX or Crypto.com is going to be placing some sort of advertisement with incentives during the Super Bowl. Now, moving on, let's talk about this. There's expected to be at least 7 different cryptocurrency ads, maybe more, maybe less, but around that area. This is costing them around $7 million for a 30-second advertisement. For those of them that want to go over a 30-second advertisement, that's going to cost them, of course, more than $7 million. Now, at the end of the day, is that make or break for a lot of these crypto companies like FTX or Crypto.com or Coinbase or Binance? Probably not. I mean, that's still a relatively small amount of capital. Yes, it seems like a lot of money to someone like me or you, but to them, they can certainly afford it now, especially when they're buying stadiums for hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, the feds have actually just arrested a New York couple and seized over $3.6 billion in stolen cryptocurrency. We're seeing this happen a lot more now that the feds and the society as a whole knows how to deal with these hackers and track wallet addresses. If you are planning to steal cryptocurrency in some way, shape, or fashion, I hope that you have a revised plan, because we're seeing a lot more headlines like this where this stolen cryptocurrency is coming to light, and governments are not too, I would say they don't go too easy on the people who are stealing billions of dollars. Of course, you're going to get a felony and you're going to face a lot of charges and jail time. A couple around the age of 30 was found in their apartment and, of course, seized. So, for any of you out there that are pondering whether or not you should try to Bitcoin scam, I would highly advise against it. People and governments are really starting to crack down on this. But let's talk about what's happening on the Bitcoin chart next. One of the big areas that I'm watching over here, as I mentioned earlier in the video, is these moving averages. We have the 50 moving average, the 200, and the 100. And Bitcoin and Ethereum are both breaking past this 50 EMA, or this 50 moving average, for the first time in almost 2 months now. I mean, the last time that they tested this was towards the end of December of 2021. And now here we are about halfway through February testing this again for almost the first time in like 7 or 8 weeks. So with Bitcoin doing this, of course, we're expecting that since it was used as resistance last time, we're expecting that it'll probably be used as resistance again this time. Volume is on the decline, so there could definitely be a squeeze on the way for Bitcoin. But if you guys want to know more about my technical analysis and breakdown beyond this, my expected areas of retracement, my areas of support and resistance and everything like that, head down to the link down in the description. Check out the Crypt Nation link. That's where I go into all my technical analysis and my support and resistance levels and what I'm expecting to happen in the future. I go over all that in a lot more detail down there. So if that's something that you're interested in and want to learn more about, definitely give that a check out. But crypto market as a sentiment here is back on the uptrend. I think people are really excited. Clearly, we've had a lot of strong fundamentals, and we've been talking about this for weeks now, and we're still talking about it. The crypto fundamental sentiment and the news that's happening around the world right now is incredibly bullish. People are starting to get away and get anxious with what's happening with their fiat reserves, and they're seeking haven in cryptocurrency, and that's really starting to shine and reflect on what's happening in the chart over here. So despite what's been happening in the price action, the people who didn't buy the dip over here are kicking themselves. They're probably saying it's going to come back down and smash through this support and break down to $10,000. Maybe it could. At the end of the day, no one knows, but this is certainly a really nice buy to see cryptocurrency breaking above some of its previous swing highs, which is, I believe it was around 40. Where was that? That was around 44,000 where we're testing right now, and we were actually able to break above that yesterday. So back to the news. Let's talk about more of this fundamental news that we have had so much of. I think I could go on and talk about this for hours and have ridiculously long videos, but for the sake of all your time, we try to limit this here. But an upcoming Apple and iPhone feature is meant to give merchants a way to accept cryptocurrency payments. I'm sure most, if not all of you, are familiar with Apple and the iPhone. They're very big in Western civilization and things like Canada, even in the United States. They're one of the leading phone manufacturers and producers for the everyday person. With them offering this would be really, really big. Of course, I'm sure most of you, or at least half of you, have probably used Apple Pay at some point or paid for something via Apple in the past. And if they're offering a feature that would give merchants a way to accept cryptocurrency payments, this would automatically influence hundreds of millions of people that do this on a daily basis. We're not talking just companies. We're talking about the companies and the people interacting here. So the fact that companies are going to get access to this and people are going to get access to this is a really big it's a really big step in the right direction. And especially if you're wanting to see mainstream adoption, this is the steps where we see it starting. So no matter if you're a fan of Apple or you're not a fan of Apple, you like to see this kind of integration happening. And of course, Tim Cook even tweeting about it. On to our next topic. This one struck as a surprise to me. Let me tell you that. Wells Fargo's reporting, in a Wells Fargo report, it argues that it's not too late to invest into cryptocurrency. And keep in mind, this came out this morning, literally minutes ago, and this was produced by a centralized bank. We have a centralized bank saying that it's not too late to invest in the cryptocurrency and that they're bullish on it, which is the very thing that cryptocurrency is trying to get rid of. If that doesn't say that cryptocurrency is a long-term bullish, I'm not sure what else will. You have the very entity that cryptocurrency is trying to get rid of. They're trying to get rid of the middleman in banking. And they're even saying that they're bullish. If anything, these people, like we saw in the JP Morgan report just a couple of days ago, they should be bearish on cryptocurrency and trying to spread FUD. But here they are saying it's not too late. There's a big future in it, and this best is still yet to come. Moving on, I want to wrap this up by just going over a couple of the tweets that we've had over here. We had just in the Belarus government authorities invest funds to buy Bitcoin. This is a really good sign. Again, I feel like we've mentioned this every single video, but there's always some sort of government trying to adopt and buy cryptocurrency. We've seen this happening with Belarus and with even in Russia and India, all across the world. We're seeing this happen on a daily basis. So with Belarus authorizing investments into cryptocurrency and specifically Bitcoin, this is of course a really, really good sign. More off of Twitter, we have the US Senator Ted Cruz just bought about $50,000 of Bitcoin on the dip. Going back to the idea that across the world there are government agencies and government representatives who are bullish on cryptocurrency. Does this mean that they know something that we don't? Or is it just clearly obvious that governments and government authorities understand that cryptocurrency is the way of the future? Hence why they're all buying it. Finally, we have the Russian government and central bank have just reached an agreement on cryptocurrencies. This coming out from, of course, the very famous pump. And according to Russians, I'm going to butcher this name, but Kommersant, both organizations will treat Bitcoin and crypto assets as currencies. This is big because I feel like so many people are bearish about the market sentiment because of what's happening between Russia and Ukraine and NATO and everything else. But here we are, countries like Russia and countries very different from Russia like the US, both are buying cryptocurrency right now. Their leaders are, the governments are. We're seeing this all across the board. I don't see this affecting cryptocurrency at all because the fundamentals are still there. And if both sides are buying cryptocurrency, I don't think either of them have any kind of bearish intent here, especially not when we're getting information like this to come out. Now, overall, clearly market sentiment and news is very bullish, whether it's things like cryptocurrency advertisements in the Super Bowl, governments buying it up, and hackers getting caught. We're seeing a very strong sentiment reversal in cryptocurrency. Now, does that mean that this is the end? Maybe not, but certainly this is a good start. It's really good and refreshing to see days on days, weeks on weeks of green and price movement upwards in cryptocurrency. If it does dip back down, you better believe that I will be excited to buy. And of course, nothing I said in this video is legal, financial, or tax advice in any way. Simply just my own opinion and used for educational purposes only and entertainment purposes, excuse me. But if you did like the video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Drop me a comment down in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts on all of this because there is so much happening. And of course, make sure to check out the links in the description down below as well if you want to get more specialized content from me and some of my associates. So I hope you guys did enjoy. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.